Summer is almost here. That means so is summer camp for the kids. But do you really know how safe that camp is for your children? What to look for and the questions to ask to protect them from all kinds of danger, including sexual abuse. Let's go on the record.
From WPBF 25, this is On the Record with Todd McDermott.
Good morning. We begin our look at Safe Summer Camp with Cherie Ben-Joseph, Director of National Outreach and Education for the Center for Child Counseling. Cherie, thank you for being here. Let's talk right away about Camp Safe, what it is and how people can use it.
Hi, Todd. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here because Camp Safe is a passion of mine. Camp Safe itself is an online training that camps across the United States and international are taking to help train their staff to prevent child sexual abuse. It is a way that they can create a culture of safety at their camps. Literally, all of their staff take this training and then they gain a knowledge, they gain a level of confidence, and they are able to better protect their campers.
So in terms of using this, who uses it? And how do they access this kind of training?
Oh, great question. So camps of all types can use it. Day camp, overnight camp, Parks and Rec, you name it. We have little camps, we have camps with 800 staff. They use it by literally subscribing to it for a year, and they do that at bekidsafe.org. It's pretty much as simple as that. And
is there a cost involved?
There is a cost involved if you are outside of Palm Beach County, but for camps in Palm Beach County, it is free. And I want to note that there are easily over 100 camps in Palm Beach County alone. And I would love for all of them to use Camp Safe. So invitation out there.
Let's talk about this. Despite the obvious danger, you worry about your kids when they're in camp, there can be a hesitancy for parents to ask the very tough questions. Let's talk about that. How do you get by that? And let's talk about the questions you have to ask.
Okay, so what I really want parents to do when they're vetting camps is, of course, find a camp that has an interest for your child, right? That's how we're looking.
Sure.
But then call the director and say, what do you do? How do you keep my child safe at your camp? I am entrusting you with the safety of my child.
What do I need to hear, though?
Exactly. You need to hear them confidently say, oh, we utilize such and such training, and this is the type of thing it covers. And we also have these policies and procedures. Literally, they need to answer the question, not just, yes, we provide training. That's not enough.
No, and obviously it wouldn't be for any parent who's concerned about their child. What about background checks, and which background checks count?
Okay, so I have mixed feelings about background checks. Number one, they have to do them. It is usually the law across the country. Background checks actually don't reveal that much because most sexual abuse predators never get caught. So they're not in the system. So it's a must, it should be done. But a lot of the people you're hiring for camps are 18 years old. So they're not in the system yet if they are offending.
And that actually creates a question mark, a gray area for parents, because you can't meet all the counselors. Can all parents, should they be at least meeting the camp directors before they go ahead and do this? Which I know is not easy to do in a busy schedule.
It is not easy to do. A phone call, a video chat, anything that you can do to say, hey, I'm aware of that this is an issue that is across the board for everybody. This is not happening in one particular neighborhood, et cetera. This impacts everybody. Make those phone calls. Let them know that you're aware of this. Meet the counselors. Take the time at pickup or whenever. Meet the counselors. Send them an email. Say, I want you to communicate with me. I am wanting to make sure that my child is safe at camp.
I want to go back to something you mentioned, that is why we choose a camp. Because we choose a camp because the kids are going to like it. It may have certain features that we know are going to appeal to our children, but you can't be blinded by that.
Right.
You have to look at deeper at the camp itself.
Yes, yes. Are they accredited? Do they have a license? What types of training are they offering? You will get a gut feeling by talking to them personally. And if they don't feel, if it doesn't feel to you like they have their act together, think twice.
Okay, and I do want to talk about how you prepare your children as well, because obviously there has to be a talk with the kids, pretty frank talk, depending on their age level. That has to be discussed.
Right.
What needs to be said?
So this is a talk that is ongoing. It should not happen the day before you send them to camp. You're also sending them to school all the time. It's the same talk. What are healthy boundaries? If for starters, talk about what are healthy boundaries. What are the rules? You should never be with an adult by yourself, because every camp has a rule of 3. So a child should absolutely never be alone. We don't keep secrets, especially secrets about touching. We don't keep secrets about gifts. These are things you can teach your kids. If you want to say no to an adult, you're allowed. If you feel unsafe in a situation, you're allowed to say no.
All right, I want to talk, I have about a minute left. I want to
Okay.
talk a little bit about signals from your child once camp begins. Now, you've chosen the camp, but we know there's a lot of variations. Kids go to a camp and they may not like it, they may not be happy at first, but what signals should parents be looking for that can be a red flag about the camp that their children are already attending?
Yeah. So keep in mind that a lot of sexual abuse is peer on peer. So it's not just a counselor harming a child, but it could be actually another child harming a child. So it looks a little bit different. But if your child's behavior changes, if your child's desire to go to camp changes, if they start sleeping poorly or regressing, and it could be a child that's 7 years old or a child that's 14 years old, it's the same idea. If something doesn't feel right, talk to them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I see something's bothering you. I see you're feeling sad. Tell me what's going on. You're never going to be in trouble for talking to me about anything. I can handle whatever you have to tell me. These are the words we need to say as parents so that they can absolutely trust that whatever they do share with us will be believed, for starters, and then will be acted upon.
All right, you mentioned it once, but before I let you go, camp director, camp counselor wants to access this training and know more. Where do they go?
BeKidSafe.org.
All right. Cherie Ben-Joseph, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Glad you're here. We have a lot more to talk about this morning, more on summer camps, Camp Safe, and the Center for Child Counseling when we come back.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
Welcome back. We welcome Dominica Nolan, Senior Director of Development and Events for the Center for Child Counseling. More on that in a moment. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Let's at first address the numbers. They get people's attention, but just the prevalence of child sexual abuse that we need to be aware of, just a general number of the prevalence of it.
So we actually hear that sexual abuse is reported every 9 minutes in the United States. So that's very, high number. And we know that 1 in 4 girls get sexually abused before the age of 18, and also 1 in 13 boys.
And I think that this is something that when we discuss this in a news program, we do make the point that the abusers, more often than not, are people that the children know and trust.
Yes, 90% of time it's someone they know and they trust.
So I want to double back into Camp Safe now and talk about the training for staff a little bit. What's the most important training that a counselor or staff member at camp gets before camp starts?
So overall, it's the whole curriculum, because the curriculum is designed to be to have different information for different levels. So director gets different information, and the camp staff, the counselors who work with children, get also different information.
Can you give us some examples of the kind of information that can be taken from this type of training?
So it's information about boundaries, safe and unsafe touch, not keeping secrets, what kind of red flags can they look out for.
There is a certain relationship that counselors have to have with the kids to be aware of how they're doing, how safe they're feeling. And I think that Cherie mentioned that sometimes it's peer-on-peer abuse that can happen. That is a lot for a counselor to cover and be aware of.
That is, yes.
What about counseling for children? I know that there is certainly that the Center for Child Counseling will counsel victims and help victims of abuse, and I know there is a prevention aspect. Let's talk first about the aspect of how a child can be healed from this.
So at Center for Child Counseling, we offer a public health approach where we focus on education, prevention, early intervention, and treatment. So we don't just provide treatment, but we know that we can help children and families before the trauma can happen through that education aspect. That's why Camp Safe and our other programs are so important, to raise that education for everyone.
Now, do you know people who have taken the training? Are you aware of anybody who's taken this training?
Many people, yes. We train thousands of people every year, and we have hundreds of thousands of people actually joining us from other parts of the world that take the training that we offer.
Tell me what you hear about the training from those who've gone through it.
We have some great feedback from directors, from counselors of the camps, and even teachers and other educators that take our trainings. We also train, we basically say we train everyone who lives and works with children. So it's not just caregivers, it's also professionals. So we train police officers, we train pediatricians, nurses, so anyone that interacts with kids needs to have that information.
That brings up something. I know you have a manual, Being with Children manual. That's pretty interesting, and that applies to what you're talking about. It's not just camp counselors. What are some of the keys to that manual for being with a child?
So we say, when the child is born, they don't come with a manual, right? Parenting is not easy.
Boy, that's for sure.
Right. So this manual is actually for everyone. So we just released the newest version of it last year. And anyone who, again, works and lives with kids needs to have this in their hands. It's about how do I build resilience for children? Because resilience is a skill that's built.
Can you give me an example of how you build resilience in a child?
So number one is through connection, right? Children need to feel safe, seen, and soothed. So we train a lot of different skills in the manual, but also people need to have information about things like child development, symptoms of trauma, the science and research behind trauma, because that's the basics. So we do train a lot of people about trauma-informed care, and HOPE, which is the new training that we provide, which stands for Healthy Outcomes from Positive Experiences. So we know that, right, ACEs and adversity can really impact health, unfortunately, but we also know that science of PCEs, and that stands for Positive Childhood Experiences, can, kind of balance each other out. So we want to help children and families build these positive experiences. That's how they build resilience.
It must be rewarding to do this work and know that you're helping people help our children.
Yes, because that change happens together, right? Especially with little kids. When parents come to us for treatment, typically, they would be put on a wait list because there is a shortage of therapists in our county, and they would wait for the treatment. At our agency, they get linked with a mental health specialist right away through telehealth. So the parent gets information on what can I do to support my child at home. Because sometimes when it's a situation of divorce, grief, we can support that parent and give them tools so they can help the child at home.
All right, Dominica Nolan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time here today. And when we return, we're going to talk with a Camp Safe user about how it works. On the Record, we'll be right back. Now meet Jessica Moore with the Fuller Child Development Center, which offers a summer camp, which is why you're here, Jessica. Let's talk first about the camp. Describe a little bit, if you would.
Okay, so Fuller Center is located in Boca Raton. We have 2 locations, and we serve between 100 and 300 kids, ages 5 to 12, 17 for the summer.
All right, what are those kids doing in that camp?
So we do a variety of different things. So this is a summer where we're uniquely catering to teens as well, and so that's why I kind of was fumbling over the ages. So this year we have a teen camp. So the teen camp serves ages 13 to 17, and where they're going to be doing different workshops, learning about civic engagement, doing field trips, and also participating in mentorship opportunities. And our K through 8 program is a program that especially focuses on literacy intervention. We have aftercare, arts and crafts, we have STEAM activities, and we also do fitness, and they also get to experience outdoor activities as well.
This sounds good to me, but I'm too old to participate, and I would have to work. We should, before we go any farther, we should talk about how somebody can sign up for the camp. Is it too late?
Well, at the East Campus, we are fully enrolled. At the West Campus, we do have a few spaces available. So I recommend that anyone who's interested in signing up to go to our website, which is fullercenterfl.org, and sign up and ask for more information.
All right, more information is a good thing. Let's talk about information. What kind of questions are parents asking you and your staff about the camp? What do you hear?
So we recently just wrapped up our last summer camp meeting. So every summer we do multiple informational sessions where parents get to come, they meet the staff, they meet the directors, and they learn more about our program. And a lot of the questions that parents ask are, what are you doing to engage our kids? You know, the kids come for 9 weeks, and so they're with us from 7:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night. So that's a large span of time, and you want to make sure that your children are being actively engaged. So that's a question we commonly get asked. And they also want to know, where are you finding your staff? Is your staff qualified? Are they trained? And what are they bringing to the table in regards to making sure that we're providing a safe and fun environment for the kids?
Oddly enough, as a parent of young children who go to camp, I was about to ask you that, and that is, where do you find the counselors? Where do they come from? How do you interview them and vet them?
So Fuller Center, we have the unique situation where a lot of our students and staff are coming from generations. So we've been in the community for 55 years, and so with that comes a lot of generations of mothers and daughters and children that come to the program. And so that's where we get a large amount of our staff. We have staff that are referrals from family members, that are referrals from other staff. And thankfully, over the years, we've had probably around like 80% of our staff are returning staff from either the school year or the previous summer. And so outside of that, we do an extremely intense vetting process where we do interviews. After we do the interviewing, we make sure that our onboarding process is hitting on different points to make sure that we're covering all bases, to make sure that we're hiring the most reliable staff possible.
What do you think of this idea of you vet a parent vetting a camp the way you would vet an employee? That's an interesting concept, but it makes sense, right?
I'm all for it. Like, you're bringing your children here, they're with us for a large amount of the day, and so I recommend any parent, if you want to pop up, I tell our parents all the time, you want to pop up any day of the week, anytime, you don't have to let us know. They have access to us via phone, via email. We're very responsive. And like I said it before, Fuller Center has been in the community for so long that we really have a community feel. And so the parents feel that. They know that they can rely on anyone on our staff and they'll get a response.
I think parents would be heartened to hear that they're not blocked away. They can see what's going on.
Yes.
Tell me how you use CampSafe.
So CampSafe, we're going into our 3rd year using CampSafe, and so it's one of the training tools that we do have for our staff. And what I love about CampSafe is that it does touch on a topic that is obviously an issue. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk about it because it's like they're uncomfortable, they kind of feel like, ugh, how do we broach this? But if you're a child care provider, you have to recognize that there are other parts of providing safety, and that's what I love about CampSafe. And so what we do with our staff is they're able to train themselves online. It's easy accessible, it's very comprehensive, and they're able to do that before they come on campus. And so what that also does, it creates an environment where any staff that we do hire, they recognize from the jump that maybe if I had ill intentions, it's not going to work because we already understand that this is a CampSafe certified organization and we take these matters seriously. So if it's not weeding them out in that regard, it also is giving them the empowerment to know I'm more than just a counselor. I'm a person who's in this position and I'm responsible for providing that environment, nurturing environment, and making sure that I'm able to recognize, okay, what are signs that maybe I might not have missed? What are things that I might be doing that might come off ways that it shouldn't be? And so I love that about CampSafe because it allows you to be self-aware and it also allows you to be vigilant into making sure that whatever's going around you, you have another eye open to those situations.
All right, I think we're out of time, but this must be an exciting time of year.
I'm very excited.
I can tell. All right. It's the Fuller Center and camp as well. Thank you, Jessica Moore, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back. Before we go, just a note here that 15,000 camp staff members have used CampSafe and will continue to be using it. And I want to thank you for making us part of your morning. As always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion each and every Sunday. We're always right here at 10 a.m. Until the next time, you can watch this morning's On the Record episode and every episode on our website, that's WPBF.com, and on our free WPBF 25 News app. We hope you have a wonderful Sunday. We'll see you again next week.